Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Let's Play Eador, Master of the Broken World with no fair fights. We have encountered the lord of this tiny shard, and we have beaten the crap out of him, and now we're about to finish him. So, there is something I want to talk about today, and that is the Overlord difficulty. In the Overlord difficulty, as you all know, the creatures that you fight normally have increased life points. So you might wonder why this guy only has 10 and this guy only has 18. Well, that is because in Overlord difficulty, the creatures of the lords or deities or simply your AI opponents are not increased. They're just as they are when you build them, so that much is fair. The creatures on the dungeons, provinces and all that, they are of course stronger. They get a bonus to their life points, to their skills, and to their attack and defense abilities, and not a small one, by the way. So, oh yeah, hit him hard. This guy will die. Oh! Evildoer, he's aiming for my mage. Well, so he might have. So that's always keeping it a little bit fair at last. I totally love that golem. We used up a lot of karma doing this undead thing, and I should not do that again. That was not a good idea on my hand. I think I lost most of the karma that I earned. We don't take anyone with us. And we get Stonehenge, which is okay. The Abbey. Oh god, I love the Abbey. Look at this. Cheap as hell. Makes people happy. And you can get the breathine of life. Yes, these guys are nuts. Yes, they're... well, they're some kind of low-level Inquisition. But they make the people happy. They help healing. And they're unbelievably cheap for what they do. And they give you good karma. I mean, every other questions, nope. And we get the Trapper's Guild, which is not as bad as it might sound, because you can now recruit, if you have the axe, spiders, basilisks, and giant slugs. And that's quite good, because those creatures, especially the giant slugs and the spiders, are mwah. Oops. Ah, new land to which to wage war, excellent. Soon I'll conquer your world. Who are you? I'm Dragor, and you're my prey. We'll have some bloody fun soon. Isn't that too quick? Perhaps we could negotiate. Talking is for wimps. War is for the strong. We'll fight soon. He looks unhealthy with that eyes. So, what do we have? A big no. A second big no. Oh, look at this. 8 energy, that's very, very promising. A world of sand, no, we already had that. A healer. A healer. You get a healer to start with. Oh boy, that's terrific. I mean, this one here gives you iron and gold and 8 energy. This only gives 4. But let's be honest, you get a healer. A secret monastery. And that is a world of magic. Yeah, I like that one. But let's first talk to Eador. I have a question for you, Eador. What can you tell me about Dragor? I encountered him several times on the battlefields. Dragor isn't as stupid as he may seem. He's skilled in warfare, I suppose he's skilled in everything else too. His savagery is just a mask he uses to mislead his opponents, making them underestimate the stupid barbarian. But his manners are truly barbaric. Of that I'm certain. The urge to destroy is eating Dragor from within, much to my dismay. Yeah, he does not know anything else. That guy is not talking to you, to us, and this guy is not talking to us either. What's going on in the world? Oh, I thought you were asking about your world. No, it's not different, though. It's both places, chaos and anarchy and reign. In Eador, those are fighting over shards, chaos is sending out their spawns, and the world is on the edge of destruction. The usual, boss. What do you mean, the world is on the edge of destruction? Well, that's just the way things are. Chaos is about to engulf the whole Eador. As far as I'm concerned, it's only a matter of time. How can you talk about this so calmly? Why, boss, I'm supposed to run around wailing, we're all going to die. Why worry in vain when you can influence any anyway? I'd rather enjoy the presence while I can quiver with fear, agonizing over the inevitable. You mean Eador stands no chance? Well, I didn't say so, since chaos hasn't swallowed it yet. It means something stopping it. If its something keeps function, Eador will survive, until the demons find and destroy this something. What is this something to beat, Tsar? Who knows? Could be anything. Maybe not even a something, but maybe some things. Try to find out what the demons are trying to destroy most of all. Perhaps that will give you an idea. As far as I remember, they're destroying everything. Excellent observation, boss! Although, there's something that demons are destroying with greater pleasure still. Think about it whenever you have the chance. So, you do know what that thing is. I don't know for sure, I have a guess, but I'm not going to share my guesses with you since I'm not sure it's correct. In such delicate issues as fate of the world, mistakes can prove too costly, so look and think for yourself. That's who you're talking now. Alright, sir, I'll think about it. Now, do we have any more questions? Oh boy. I decided to conquer the world of Eador Masters. That will be faster than gathering shards one together at a time. Great idea, right? It's not that simple, boss. First of all, there's a strong connection between the world and his master. As soon as this connection is served, the world will shatter into shards, and you're very lucky to get hold of at least one of them. That second of all thing, right? Yes, and right now it's more important that you're the first of all. At the moment, you're not capable of successfully attacking any of your colleagues. Your world is too small for that. You need greater power to sever connection between a master and his world. For now, you can put your dreams of conquering other worlds aside, into the box or labeled kill them later. Then when will my world become big enough? I can't say for certain, as I'm not very good at astral physics. There is a theorem called Nestraturm. As far as I remember, it formulates the world size necessary for successful attack. I don't remember it. Frankly, it was never good at science. You need all that science anyway. When you're ready, you feed it. You should take science more seriously. Did I say anything about taking it seriously? I said I was never good at it. This is a total different thing, and I'm seriously bad at it. It hasn't led to any drastic consequences yet, but alright. Can we ask him anything else? I often hear mentions about the so-called ancients. Do you know anything about them? Yes, I've heard something about that, boss. The ancients were a race of mortals first inhabited Eador. The ancients were highly skilled in the magic of science, but they died out a long time ago as a result of some cataclysm. I've heard, if you want my opinion, boss, I'm almost positive that they caused the cataclysm themselves. That's so typical for mortals. What kind of cataclysm was that? Do you know? There are all kind of rumors about it. Some tell the breach of chaos and say the chaos nearly destroyed Eador then. Others call it the Thundering and say that because of that cataclysm the one unified earth shattered into shards. They also say that the nothingness appeared back then. They call the cataclysm the rupture of creation. You know full well when the chronicles love to evacuate. It would be best if you ask someone who personally witnessed those events. Well, that is hard to find, I guess. Are there still witnesses? It's likely. You're not the only immortals in Eador. Perhaps there are still some beings that appeared before the cataclysm destroyed the ancients, and who didn't suffer memory loss like some of you. Hey boss, that scary face won't make your memory come back. Your games will be the end of you. Well, boss, I wouldn't mind ending my games myself, but I just can't. I play all day long, poker, gold mountain, tree perks, and the games seem never to end. I always feel like playing again. Okay. Is there anything else? Oh god, we can talk this guy dead. You said cataclysm resulted in the creation of nothingness. What's that? The question is so typical, boss. Tell me what the nothingness is. Nothingness is nothingness. The absolute lack of anything at all. Non-existence. A hole. I don't know how else to explain it. Where did that hole appear? Nowhere, really. No kidding, boss. Nothingness is located nowhere. Nowhere is located in nothingness. They're almost the same. Do you even understand what you're saying? Boss, if you aren't smart enough to understand something, don't consider others dumber than you are. Of course, I understand what I said. It's just as simple as that. If nothingness appeared in a certain place, that place automatically becomes nowhere, because the place, no longer exists. Then how was nothingness first found, if it's located nowhere? If something goes into nothingness, it disappears. That's how nothingness is discovered. Shards began to disappear. Some reappeared later, in exactly the same condition they had disappeared. For instance, while a certain shard was in nothingness, 10 generations of mortals succeeded each other in Eador, but not a single moment passed on that shards. Thus, there is no timing nothingness. Then why, they say, the shard went into nothingness and not just disappeared? Do you see a difference? I don't. What matters is that nothing of the sort ever happened before the cataclysm. Well. Badass is a former necromancer. Somehow he managed to cheat the Grim Reaper and escape into the Astral. So he settled here and began creating his own world. Nasty piece of work. I've had the displeasure of talking him once. Do you know who the Lord of Light is? I've heard of him, boss. Who is he? One of the gods worshipped by the humans. His history is the same lamest story I've ever heard. I guess that's why he's so popular amongst humans. I could never understand that race. Interesting. Tell me what you know about him. First, he's called the Lord of Light. They say he's the sun, or as the Clanky put it, the sun reborn. Presumably he granted people life, light, and protection from darkness. He's also called the Eagle God, since he used to appear before mortals in the form of an eagle. Although, how could he have done that if he's the sun? I have no idea. Perhaps at night? They also say he humbles the disobedient and exalts the modest, cures disease, and removes hexes. It's a patron of the poor, and they say a great deal about him. Mortals have a whole collection of tales about every deity. Do you think he really exists? No idea, boss. My guess is no, since he has not possessed a whole set of conventional qualities. He possesses a whole set of controversial qualities. If there is such a god, he must likely hiding from the demons somewhere or running a nice world in the center of Eador. Otherwise he would have been dragged into the chaos long ago. In any case, I'm positive that more than half of the tales surrounding him are pure nonsense. Did you know why I began to create a world? Was driven solely by the thirst of power? You never short your thoughts on the subject with me, boss, but I guess you're driving by something rather than desire to rule mortals. I say it was self-preservation instinct. Really, how can the world preserve me? It's simple, boss. The world is the focus of order. The demons, the eager to track being into chaos, won't be able to harm you as long as you're connected to your world. Your world is an anchor that holds you in Eador. Interesting, so the demons have thrown all the higher beings that didn't have their own worlds into chaos? Well, not all, but many. Some managed to hide, but the demons are watching every master very closely, trust me. Whenever you lose this world, he's guaranteed a free trip into chaos. A lovely perspective. Anything else, boss? Hey, Sar, what am I using my name in an ad? I wouldn't mind getting some more energy from the gremlins. Boss, I'm afraid you haven't been too popular recently. Too many beings relate your image to the cash they lost in the casino, rather than great deals. I think it would make sense to consider a few loud battles to make the masses interested again. Alright, I can manage a few noisy brawls. Okay, Dragor. A former mortal who managed to grab power into a master with his greedy hands. On the physical plane he was a barbarian. I say he hasn't changed much. I think the amulet he's found is his key to power. A very curious item. What's so curious about this? You see, boss, as a gremlin, I'm an expert in various magical items. You can say it's my profession. If you like, well, I've got no idea about that piece of junk he's hanging around his neck, but the fact that he's dragged into the astral from the physical plane speaks volumes. I've only heard about a handful of extremely rare artifacts able to exist in both the physical and the astral planes, so it's really curious item indeed. Well, let's better do the rest of the talking here, and then we have, I hope, a while not to read that much. Not much about you, boss. He's a mage, a former mortal. Somehow he managed to become a master. Perhaps he got drunk, overstretched his spell power, and found himself in Astral. Or he's just one of the other those Black Lotus addicts. Anyway, now he's creating his own little world and takes great interest in the lives of the mortals. I guess all relations never die out. Some call him wise. I have no idea if that's true or not. But you should try talking to him if you want to win your way into his affections. So, I want you to help me in the world of the shards. Are you serious? How do you envision this, boss? Well, you inhabit a mortal body and become my hero? Do you happen to know how much energy it takes to inhabit a mortal body? I guess you don't. Since you are the one suggesting this, I think it takes a whole lot of energy, enough to create mountains of gold or fully build a castle. If you don't have that much energy, even if I did, I wouldn't find much better use for it than walking into a mortal skin again, trust me. Alright, then just enter a physical plane in your normal form and fight for me. I'm afraid I won't be much use to, boss. Imagine an ordinary pea. That's a farmer's son. You should be familiar with dungeons. Well, a whole gremlin country could fit into a pea. Although, frankly speaking, we prefer to dwell in different mechanical things, especially made in goblin-make mechanisms. Wait, are really that small in the physical planes? Yeah, what's wrong with that? You yourself are nothing at all in the physical place. Nothing but a voice in the heads of the bunch of schizophrenics they call heroes for some reasons. And I have my own physical form, which I can enter when I want to. By the way, right now my body's in the casino busy playing poker. If we're done, I'd like to continue the game, boss. And while we are talking here, your body is frozen like a statue? Well, sort of, boss. But no one will notice. Time turns at a different pace in the astral than in physical planes. Our whole conversation has taken less than a moment in the casino. Alright, go to play. Okay, this guy is still not talking. This guy is still not talking. Oh, I've heard much about your wisdom oil. Can you give me a moment of advice? Try not to use dark magic. I'm certain such magic is poor for one's karma. Thank you for your advice. Okay, where was that world we wanted to get? Yeah, the healer. I mean, the rest is really, really crappy. But if we get a healer, we get gold and we get 4 energy. Yeah. Well, we're not taking anything of that with us. The longer you watch the life on this shard, the stranger it looks. Instead of birds, some kind of tiny fairies flying the skies. Every nook and cranny in this home to weird creatures that clearly possesses some magic ability. Inflexible accidents happen here and there, from all kinds of objects appearing out of nowhere to your subjects disappearing into thin air. The air itself is crackling with magic and sorcery. Your wizards report that the atmosphere of this shard is beneficial to spellcasting and magical research, so the cost of constructing magical building is significantly decreased as in creating incarnations. Not bad. Okay, free settlement, barbarian tribes, brigand outlaws. We're up against Bearleth and another lord. Okay. Well, I think we stop it here, and next time we go hunting. See you then. Bye.